Hi guys, welcome to my second squad analysis video. So this week I'm looking at the top 25 players again, and this is picking up at week 6 in the FUT Champions cycle. So my first video was looking at the squads from the top 25 after week 1. So that's at a point where you've got very limited informs in the game. Now we've had 6 weeks to try these players in Weekend League, more informs have come into the game. It's introduced new players that people are using in the top 25. Just as an overview, so the way I collect my data is I go into the top 25 games on the Champions channel after a Weekend League. I just go through each game and I try and pick someone's last game, because I think that's surely when someone's using their best team to either hit 30-0 or get the sort of 29th win to secure top 200. So not many people will be messing around at that stage, I wouldn't have thought. And it's simply so waiting till each player touches the ball, checking what the name appears on the screen and just noting that down and collecting it, referencing the formation that they've used, the position each player plays, and that's really it, guys. I'm going to now go into each position, see who's changed since week 1, what new players have been introduced, what players have even dropped. As a note to the video, it's only looking at the top 25 players on Xbox, so because of the small data set, there might be some slight anomalies where players might be played once in a certain Road to Glory team, or people in the top 25 this week may have used Mbappe more than Neymar in a previous week, so some of the popular guys may fluctuate here and there, but I think at least from this data we can see some of the real big movements. So with that, I'm just going to go into it. Looking at goalkeepers first, I would say this is one of the most surprising positions, because I definitely wasn't expecting Pope to increase the use percentage. So Pope was used in the first Weekend League. He only got used by 2 people. Now he's up to 7 people, making him the most used goalkeeper. So Pope, you can get him probably for about 1-2k. He's not that expensive at all. I'm trying to think of reasons. I don't know if players believe it's reduced the rating of their team, so that would play any impact in what people might believe there's a handicapping or momentum, stuff like that in the game. But then also Van Der Sar has also been introduced. The main faller on this list is Alisson. So in the first week he was used in 68% of the teams, and now he's only used in 4 teams, making him come in at 16%. Ederson actually has risen in usage. So he was used in 3 teams in week 1. A slight increase to 4, but he just moves down a position. Just Alisson was so dominant. Ederson was in second, but now Pope. I guess there's more variation between the top guys now, like Pope, Van Der Sar, Alisson, Ederson, used between 4 and 7 times. So there's not really much choice between them. And then you've got other goalkeepers people have used, like Lloris, Areola, Schmeichel, Neuer, Cech, all used once. I don't believe this is a position people need to read too much into. The fact that Pope, a 1k goalkeeper, is the highest used in the top 25 players list, I really don't think it makes much difference. People see a goalkeeper make a mistake and take him out of their team, or have a bad run with a goalkeeper and go to the next one. It's a tough position to look too much into, but Pope's the number 1 for now. Looking at right back, so this is one of the most important movements since week 1. So in week 1, Semedo was coming out on top, and quite clearly. Semedo was used in 76% of the teams. Walker was only used in 4 teams, so he was coming in at 16%. Now Walker's up to 56%, so more than half of the top 25 on Xbox this week use Walker as their right back. And so just to be clear, it doesn't include where someone's used the centre back or Walker as a centre back. Semedo down quite heavily, so yeah, like I said, 76% down to 36%, but still used 9 times out of 25 is still a decent percentage. And we've got Cuadrado, so the new rule breaker card that was introduced about 3 weeks ago. He's now in, and I think the card looks actually good on face stats, and I can see why people are using it. People may also want to use it to link to Cristiano Ronaldo. Moving on to centre-backs, so Varane still keeps his top spot. He's actually moved down in usage, so he was 92% originally in week 1. Now only 80%, but still clearly has that top spot. The biggest two movers, I would say, so is Gomez's rise to 68%, and his inform would have had a big impact on that, going from 32% in week 1 to now 68% in week 2. The biggest downfall is Virgil van Dijk, so one of the only downfalls in rank position. Virgil was 48% usage in the first weekend league, now moving down to 12%. And I've just noticed on Twitter a lot of people complaining about Virgil van Dijk's pace and how pace is very much the meta in this game. Maybe that's a big reason why. Walker, so not really used much more, but he has just moved ahead of Van Dijk. So Van Dijk was second, he's now moved down to 4th. Walker now up, but he was used 3 times in the first weekend league, and we did have his inform at that point, so he could have been used. And the rest of the list is just people that got used once. So you've got Carlos Alberto, Rio, someone used Vieira, Alaba, Michele. I wouldn't read too much into this, but at least you can see people are using these players in the top 25. So moving on to left back, and this is the position that was the most locked down before, and it still is. Mendy, no surprises really, so he was used 96% last time, and in the other instance in week 1 he was used in at right back once anyway, so he was just using everyone's squad. Now slightly down, so to 92%, but still the go-to choice, and people just preferring Telles or Davies in certain situations, maybe depending on chemistry. I'm not really sure, but yeah, Mendy the obvious choice there. Moving on to centre mid, so a lot of people would have played a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2 variant formation, and Sanchez is a complete non-mover, so he was the most used during the first weekend league. His 82 inform card, 6 weeks on, he's still there with the same amount of usage. So 9 people used him again, and he keeps the top spot quite easily. One of the rises that we've had, so Vieira and Hullet, this is probably to do with top 25 players having more capital, more money to spend on their teams as they've picked up top 200 rewards. These are probably the go-to guys that they would have used to improve their squads. I feel like there's a certain lack of really dominant centre midfielders right now, like Sanchez is an 82 card. So outside Kante, Valverde, Fernandes, we don't have that much to pick on, and they're not obvious choices like Neymar, Ronaldo, and Mbappe are from an attacking perspective. So that's why you've seen the rise of Vieira and Hullet. Obviously, they are great cards as well. The main faller this week is Kante. So he was in the first week 32% usage. He's moved down now to 20%. So that's 3 less people using him. Important to emphasise, he's still being used. That's 20% is still good. He's still coming in as the 4th best user and the 2nd most used non-icon. The stats do back up using Kante. Next, 2 other rises, so Valverde, and again, a bit like Gomez, his 85 inform would have helped him with that rise. And Fernandes as well has had another inform boost to 89. And I think people probably like his high work rates. You've also got to look at who they go with in regards to chemistry. So Fernandes helps with any Ronaldo and Sanchez situations. Valverde can easily link to Mendy and Varane, who are the centre-back, left-back pairings on most people's teams. Hullet and Vieira, well, they don't have a chemistry problem because they're icons and they link to anyone anyway. Other guys that are coming in the list, so this list was probably the biggest last week, so there were 20 midfielders used in the first week. That's now down to 15, and so Blanc keeping his same usage, Zidane slightly down, Pogba down quite a little bit as well. Pogba was actually ranked joint 3rd last in week 1 with Hullet, so he's down a little bit. And then just new guys that are being used. So Khedira, someone's used Schweinsteiger, someone in the same team used Talisca and Paulinho, so that'll be the rule breaker and the inform. So, again, just proving it's not impossible to make the top 25 with these guys in your squads. Moving on to attackers, we haven't really seen a massive change here. So your top 3 from week 1 are still your top 3 in week 6. Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo and Mbappe. The only thing changing is the order, really. So Mbappe came up top in the first week, so he was at 96%. He now moves down to 3rd. I'm very surprised by that decrease. I don't know if it's just the pool of teams that we've selected in this top 25 or not. I don't really know any proper reasons for it either. Maybe just people bringing in icons more. So you'll also see R9 is quite a big riser. So he comes up from 8% used in the first week. Maybe a lot of people haven't got £9 million or coins sitting around in the first week. He's up from 2 people using him to now 8 people using him. So that's just a rise of 32%. The biggest mover is Rashford. So week 1, he was used just out of the top 4. So the top 4 were Mbappe, Neymar and Cristiano Ronaldo and Mane. Mane's dropped completely off that. Rashford was just outside it amongst other attackers as well. Rashford was used 3 times in week 1 and he's up to now 15 uses. So that's now up to 60%. He seems the go-to guy outside of the big top 3. Other risers, so to be fair, outside of R9 and Rashford, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Neymar, the usage is quite small. So Cruyff is used 3 times at 12%, same usage as week 1. Then Bale moves down. Mane, like I said earlier, he moves down a little bit. Garrincha and Pele moving down. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought with people getting more coins into their teams, there'd be more movement for Pele to come in, but obviously not. Maybe people just not feeling him, not sure why. Salah wasn't used in the week 1. Surprise ones here are so Martin's coming in, used twice, not used in week 1, maybe just for the chemistry. Costa, so that's his rule breaker card. I get that. Anyone running a Bundesliga team or wanting a Brazilian link. Zaha as well, so he's had an inform and that looked like a very good card. Other players come in, so Poland, I'm not sure if that's someone just trolling and playing their last game with Poland or just playing a bit of a joke for Weekend League. I'm not convinced, but it worked for someone. Son, so that would have probably been his Player of the Month card. He's come in once. Promes with his road to the final card gets used once, and then Mahrez as well got the inform, so he has also come in as well into the usage. So just looking at each position, I'm going to go through like right side, left side, striker, cam. It's a bit of a no-brainer really. The guys who looked like they were playing 4-2-3-1 looked like they were running Neymar in at cam. On the right side, so this is where we see Rashford is most utilised. So he's coming in at 9, so 36%. Mbappe is the big down mover here, so he was used 52% in this position, now only at 12%. And people are also using Ronaldo and Martins in this position. Left side, not much has really changed here, so Mbappe was used exactly the same amount in week 1 as he has been in week 6. Neymar only slightly up, so he was 2nd before. He had slightly less uses, so only 20% in week 1 than Mbappe, now up just by 1. Rashford again coming in, people also liking him on the left wing as well, but just not as much as the right wing. And then we have other movers, so Costa where he's come in is being utilised on the left wing, and others just depending on probably weak foot preferences. Finally, looking at the striker position, so we see Cristiano Ronaldo keeps his top spot from week 1. Usage is slightly down, so it was 68% in the first week, now it's in at 56%. Neymar also keeps his spot at 2nd place, so again usage is slightly down, but I think that's because of the influx of icons, down from 52% to 44%. Mbappe, again, keeps his position. He's slightly up actually, so only 20% of people were using him as a striker in the first week. And the fact is, usage is down overall, but it's actually increased from in the striker position. Maybe people realising that pace on that last man is a lot more important, or just how people are playing in general. R9 actually keeps his position, so he was ranked 4th in the first week, but it's his usage that climbs up. So it was 8%, now up to 32%. So just more evidence of people getting more money, more backing into their FUT account and being able to invest in the big boys. Cruyff up slightly, so he was used once in the first week and now used 3 times. And the other guys, like so Pele, Podence, Rashford only used once, so we won't really talk about those much. Rashford, someone backed him as a striker, but looks to be utilised as a winger more often. So that completes the video today, guys. That's the full review, and in front of you now is the, on average, what the top 25 on Xbox would have used this weekend and how they would have set up their team. So you would have had Neymar and Ronaldo up front, backed up with Mbappe on the left wing, Rashford on the right wing, Sanchez in the middle with Hullet. Now, Hullet was actually tied with Vieira. I've just put Hullet in because I think probably a lot of people would prefer Hullet over Vieira anyway, and he was ranked better than him in week 1. The back 4, so the main changes here, Mendy and Varane were in from week 1 anyway. Gomez in form comes in, and Walker also comes in on the right, maybe to help out also with chemistry to Gomez. And the new goalkeeper this week is Pope. So guys, that's your most meta formation and players that are top 25 used on Xbox this weekend. So we're looking at week 6 in FUT Champs. That squad is coming in at about 10 million coins. So I hope you can use this video to either aim for something or see what other players have been using. A lot of these guys are fairly obvious. Everyone knows Mendy, Varane, Pope, Gomez, Ronaldo and Mbappe. Like, there's no real surprises here anyway. What I learnt from this video is how popular Rashford has been. So I was using Salah in this position. I don't think there was massive amounts between them. But actually, looking at this video, it kind of backs up Rashford's usage. Another position I didn't think there was too much between was I was using Wijnaldum as a centre mid and as a box-to-box player. Looking at this video, Wijnaldum's nowhere. So I'm looking now to get Rashford in, get Fernandes into my team. I did have Van Dijk. I'm going to drop him, get Varane in, and also upgrade Gomez. So my team, it won't have Hullet in, but basically replace Hullet for Fernandes, replace Pope, because I'm still not sure about the 82 rating, and I can take Alisson in that position on 10k anyway. And I'm actually going to use my own advice and my own stats that I've got from this video, just use it on my team and just see how I get on. How will Fernandes and Rashford play in game? Rashford does feel very good. I don't know what it is about him that makes him different or more effective than someone like Salah or Mane, but his inform just seems to have extra juice in it. I just don't know. But yeah, hoping to find out this weekend league. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you can use it to your own benefit. If not to see who the meta players are, you can use it to see what other players people are using to still finish in the top 25 in the world. Because even though Talisca and Paulinho were used once, that's still proof that someone has used them and someone has been able to rank so highly. But if a guy is still being used 2, 3, 4, 5 times by some of these players, I would still recommend giving him a try or using him in your squad, because someone else in the top 25 has had success with them. When the next video returns, I'll probably do one around week 10, so this will be around Christmas time. I imagine we'll have a new promo by then, so I reckon team of the group stage will come out for the Champions League, so there might be other players. You'll have boosts for UEL cards and road to the final cards, so that might impact things come Christmas end of December time, so that's when I'm planning the next video. Thanks very much for watching this. Any comments are appreciated. What you like, what you'd like to see. Would you like to see week 1 stats more in this video? Would you like to see a bigger pool of players or a bigger player base to draw stats from? Even if you'd like to see more of this content, would you want to see it every fortnight, for example? But yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.